Hello, Chloe. How are you?
Hey Orlando, how's it going?
I'm fine, thank you. Apologies for yesterday, but I was talking to my father's doctor. I couldn't. I couldn't hang up the phone.
No problem. We are live on YouTube and Facebook
Oopsie.
and all the other social media.
All
Um,
right.
so welcome along, everyone. And Orlando, seeing as you missed yesterday, what is it that you're looking at for today or for
Well,
the rest of the week?
I'm glad you asked, Chloe, because can you give me powers, please, and let me
I
just
can
plug in
indeed.
my computer. All right, so I'm plugged in. I want to have two. Well, I'm looking at a couple of things, Chloe. I'm in a couple of things right now.
Great.
Can everybody see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we've got it.
All right. So, the first thing that I am in is the S&P 500. And let me show you my trade rationale because I actually was looking at a lower move on the S&P 500 to buy it. Right, I was looking at a let me go first to the and this is my full trade rationale. I annotated the chart for the show, but I'm gonna go to the daily first. I was looking at these lows actually for a buy in the S&P 500 around the 3230 level or something like that. All right. Now let me go again to our chart here. I was looking at these lows for a buy in the S&P 500 right around the 3210, 3220 level. But then actually I saw this candle right here um, formed, and I saw these levels get hit. These are some, in my opinion, I use these levels. This is the 261.8 and the 161.8 of different moves. I'm going, oops, my alarm. I'm going to go through that. Just give me a second, please, because my alarm, um, I have to shake my phone in order to turn it off. So I was looking at these levels. This is the 261.8 and the 161.8. Right, the 161.8 of the last impulse up, or the last move up. All right. So to me, this is the end of a three-wave pattern or a three corrective wave pattern. This is the first wave, second wave, third wave at the 161.8. And the 261.8, if you notice, is the retracement of the last oopsie. Hold on. All right. I don't know. Yes. Or the 261.8 is the retracement of the last impulse up. Another big bullish target for me. All right. So I was looking at this candle that was printed right at these levels. Okay. So I started to look for buys here, and this was this was my value zone. Uh, the low of the value zone was this key level, and then these lows where we picked up buyers to bring the S&P 500 to all-time highs. All right. So I was looking at buys. Where did I get in? I actually got in at the break of this level, which was also the break of that day's high, and the previous weekly low, which is this one, this green um, line right here. Uh, and that and not only that, but that also broke with my reversal pattern, which gave me a good entry to buy the S&P 500, which I'm riding to at least these lows on a 1 to 2.45 risk to reward ratio. currently in a flag. Now let's have a look at that flag, because uh, I think we might have an opportunity to add to this trade. So let's go to the 30-minute chart. All right. Now, as you can see right here, um, hold on. Mm. All right. So as you can see right here, we hit exactly yesterday's. Well, of course, that we hit yesterday's high. That's logical. But I was looking. Actually, I was looking to take profit at the previous daily high. Between the previous daily high and the previous daily open, that this zone right here was my TP1. We didn't quite get there, which is absolutely fine. But if you notice, we are right now um, trading inside of a flag, of a bullish flag, right? Not only that, but we are trading inside of a bullish flag right here at this level. Well, actually, it's this level right here, these lows. So, in my opinion, we are still bullish the S&P 500, and if we manage to break with the daily open and the previous high, we could be, in fact, going for another bullish session in the United States. And let's just calculate the targets to the upside on this flag right here. Would be actually, this is the 161.8 of the flag right here, and the target of this flag is well, is in confluence with my previous targets, well, or in confluence with my targets from this breakout. But if we do a calculated flag target, this is a 1264 pip move, and at the breakout, we should be looking at a 1264 pip move. So we go right above my calculated targets for the move to the upside, which is where I would be actually taking most of my position off, since it is a very strong level of resistance, or it's going to be a strong level of resistance. I'm still very bullish equities, Chloe, and I'm going to maintain that bias until or if, let me go to the higher time frames. If we break with this green level, the 3320 level, which is where I wanted to buy in the first place, right? In my opinion, if we break with this level, which is a very strong level of resistance, just have a look at this. When we retested it back in early June, right here, when we retested it back in June, we moved down about 10%, right? And this is the level where we picked up buyers to bring the S&P 500 to all-time highs. So if we break with this level, I would be very bearish in US equities. But I don't know if we're going to be able to get there, since equities are remaining strong at the moment. And as I'm looking on my other screen at price action on the S&P 500, it looks very strong. It looks like that flag is about to break. So that is one of the markets that I am definitely in and looking at, and looking for a move to the upside. The other one is gold, Chloe. All right.
Oh,
Just
nice.
yeah. So, I got in. Just let me. I need to put on an order. Just let me put the order. Hold on. Uh huh. The other one is gold, which I am currently in too. I'm going to. I have also the annotated chart for you guys. This is not it. Uh huh. Where is it? Here it is. So gold, well, I got stopped out trying to I got stopped out trying to buy silver actually. I know that I've been saying that my preferred market to trade the upside in metals is silver, and it still is because of the potential. I'm sorry, the potential to the upside, right? But the thing is that silver, and I'm going to show you the chart actually, because silver has been very weaky. Yeah, I mean, a very weak. You're going to see what I mean when I say wiki right here. I mean, it has been. If you look at this chart right here, it has been very rangy and very weak here at the bottom, right? With no clear direction until a few days ago. I think that we touched the low of this of my value zone, and we are moving up. But there was really no entry for me in silver. There was no setup. So I went in and I saw gold trading inside of this kind of a falling wedge, but without moving sideways like um, uh, like silver was doing, right? So I saw the opportunity to buy gold here, and I'm still in it, even though yesterday we had I mean I got ticked in. I think this was during the open on Sunday, and yesterday we had a very good move to the upside in gold, and I'm still looking for a continuation, but we are still trading below this bearish structure, which we haven't quite tested it just yet. But if we manage to test that structure today on a falling dollar, I think that the dollar is currently falling. Let's have a look at that too, because it's important for our gold analysis, right? So let's have the this is not what I wanted to show you guys. Just give me a second. Mm-mm. Where is it? Here it is. Oh, I already have it open. So the DXY broke with what seems to be a on the long term time on the longer view, a reversal pattern at the bottom of a berry structure, right? But with the DXY, really patterns really don't matter, because what matters are levels, in my opinion, right? Because we can't be sure that these are going to be reversal patterns, since fundamentally speaking we are in a bearish market on the US dollar. I was actually waiting for a retest of these highs for a true bearish move to start, but we didn't quite get there, and now we are below these highs and below the previous week's highs, right? And that is important to me in the sense that uh, with what I just said, and having broken with the immediate bullish structure, and now price being inside of the previous range too, that to me is very bearish. So I'm expecting another move another move in metals to the upside if we have a bearish day in the US dollar. But in any case, I saw this as a much cleaner entry, and on metals, well, a much cleaner entry um, than silver. And if I look at the longer time frames, uh, well, it looks even better as a bullish move, and the from current price action to all-time highs, we are still I mean, it's still a 6% move, which is very good in my opinion. But if we don't manage to break with this structure, this structure in the next few days, I'm going to be closing this one manually because if we don't break with this structure, we might just retest it and go back again and continue to trade inside of it, and the probability of breaking lower is going to be higher in the sense that we already had three big retests to this zone, and buyers were able to hold it, right? That was another thing that I saw on gold and silver too, for that matter, that the zone that was currently a um, um, a support zone has been held by buyers from very strong bearish moves. So that gave me another plus to look for buys in this case, right? But in any case, this is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything else, Chloe, to be completely honest, because there's nothing that pops my eye like for a good setup other than what I'm currently in. Actually, um, the other market I was looking at was Bitcoin, but that is no longer valid. But yeah, but I'm not looking at nothing much. Well, actually, why don't we have a look at or do you have something that you want to share, Chloe?
Orlando, I was going to completely agree with you on gold and silver. The three things I was going to look at today were gold, silver, and the dollar yen.
Okay, go
But
ahead with the dollar yen
okay.
because yeah.
Let me just grab the screen then,
Okay, cool.
and let's have a look at this. So I spoke about dollar yen yesterday, and I just wanted to reinforce. Those of you who listen to me regularly know that I trade a strategy called the Income Creator, which is a trending strategy. And when I find the trends are not behaving as I would like for my strategy, then that prompts me to go and find something that is in a consolidation pattern ready for it to break out. And that's why I'm looking at gold, silver, and dollar yen. So this is the daily time frame here. Yesterday I was looking for a break short, and that didn't happen. But what that means is, and it's going to be the same thing pretty much, perhaps, Orlando, with your gold as well, if it does come back down into that horizontal level. What it means is that this consolidation pattern, which it's pretty messy, it's not easy to draw either a symmetrical triangle on there or a descending triangle. But whatever we call the pattern, what yesterday's bullish bar means is that price is actually coming further and further into the apex of the triangle. And the further into the apex of the triangle price gets, the more likely it is to have a strong breakout in either direction. And so just because my setup that I was looking for yesterday didn't actually happen, it's actually preferable because that breakout to the downside here may have just come down to these lows and then bounced back up. Whereas if I'm now looking for a bigger potential breakout, a stronger breakout because the consolidation has gone on for longer, then there could be an even bigger move there. So it's not ready yet, but it is certainly something that I'm keeping my eye on across all the time frames. As I said, it's a really messy pattern here, but I am looking for this at some point to break. When it does break, I will be looking, for example, we could just put a shorter term trend line on here, and then if it breaks to the upside, I would be looking for a retest and then for price to continue. So that is pretty much what I'm looking out for on dollar yen. And yes, Orlando, I just wanted to point out exactly what you have just said, basically with gold, in
Mm-hmm.
that this pattern here, we've got these lows down here, which have been tested, as you said, 3 times, and we have got this descending pattern here. If price doesn't manage to break out here, then what that means is it's potentially going to come further into the apex of the triangle, and all that means
Mm-hmm.
is when it does break out, which it eventually will break out, it's more likely to be an even stronger move, which is going to be really nice and tradable, whichever direction this breaks out, whether it's to the downside and then we get a retest, or whether it's to the upside and a retest. So that is definitely on my watch list. And I think the point that I'm trying to make is, even if so unlike you, Orlando, I'm not actually in a trade on gold, because there wasn't an entry according to my strategy. But
Uh-huh.
the point is, if you do your market analysis really well beforehand, then when this breakout happens, which it will, you can be really, really confident in your trade, in your direction. As soon as you see a strategy entry, all you have to do is place your entry orders, and away you go, rather than trying to chase the market. Once this is broken out, it might be gone then, it might be too late. So if you plan beforehand, and it's pretty much the exact same thing on silver as well. Again, it's a pretty messy pattern, but it is pretty much just going sideways. So as soon as we get an indication of somewhere for a breakout to happen, which might be easier perhaps to keep an eye on the weekly chart for it. It's pretty messy, this one, but it's definitely worth planning ahead, especially when some of the trends that we have been looking at, for example, Aussie dollar, well, it is still moving upwards, and I am still
Mm-hmm.
bullish on Aussie dollar, but there aren't necessarily any really good setups according to my strategy right now. So I'm just hunting around for consolidations where I can see that once it breaks out, it's potentially going to really move. But actually, having said that, Aussie dollar doesn't look too bad, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
exactly. I was going to say that. I mean, that that's a kind of a rectangle that the Aussie dollar is trading inside of. It looks very much like the rectangle that the US dollar, Canadian dollar is trading inside of.
Hmm.
But on the other side, I mean, whilst you were, I'm sorry, whilst you were looking at gold, I just very quickly looked at the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar, and it's exactly the same pattern. It doesn't look that bad, but in the case of the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar, we are close to another big level. So I wouldn't be taking it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. With the
Yeah,
U.S.
no worries. It's quite a lot of them are fairly comparable at the moment with what's going on in the markets. But Aussie dollar, yeah, I'm pretty keen to see if this area can break. This level here seems to be holding at the moment. And again, very similar to gold, I'm just going to be waiting for a breakout. In terms of analysis, I'll be waiting for a breakout here, preferably above these highs, and then a
Yes.
retest, and then away it might go. But of course, along with that breakout, I will actually be looking for my strategy entry as well. So just because it breaks out doesn't necessarily mean I'm going straight in. I'll be then looking for my strategy entry, stop loss, etc. But
Yes.
that is pretty much what I'm looking at. Still looking for the odd opportunity on the trending markets, which it still is, despite really looking bearish for most of this week. It still is trending. We still do have a higher low. It's retraced a lot further than I would have liked, because I ideally was looking for this retest here. That candle there, the low test bar, the low test candle, that and this level here, that was where I was really looking for a long opportunity. It didn't happen, but price is back above this level. So that for me is a good sign, and potentially it could continue a little bit further. Certainly back up to these highs is a potential. If we get that break out of where price currently is.
Most definitely.
So that is pretty much what I was looking at. Just maybe might want to look at Aussie Kiwi as well, because I was looking at that earlier on. Let's see Aussie Kiwi. So Aussie Kiwi on the daily obviously is looking at, we've got a little bit of a downtrend here with lower highs and lower lows. But what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting to see, because this was my level down here and price bounced at that level and it's heading up. So what I want to see with this is I want to see a higher low, whether that comes a little bit further down and then forms a higher low, or whether this actually is a really tiny higher low before price continues. But that is something that I'm looking fairly closely at as well. And again, the price action here on the hourly doesn't look great at the moment. We've got a lot of long-tailed candles, very spiky price action. But in terms of direction, I'm looking for that to break to the upside as well.
That's very interesting,
Oh,
but very wiki, very wiki. And I think
very
we have
wiki,
Jeff.
yeah.
We have Jeff in the
We
house,
do
and
indeed have Jeff in the
but
house.
before we go any further, I would like to ask everybody that is watching the show that if you do enjoy the show, to give us a thumb up on the video, and if you want to get notified every time we go live automatically, just subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell.
Oh yeah, good idea. Good idea, because that's exactly the kind of thing that I would just completely forget about. But yeah, it's good that we can do that.
Yep, definitely.
All
So
right.
what's up, Jeff?
So,
Hey, dudes.
Jeff, how's it going?
Look, bored as there's nothing doing. It's
It's a funny
real,
old market, isn't it?
it's a real SH1T show at the moment. Of course, we're waiting for another 15 minutes, and the press conference will be over, and well, it'll be running and off and running, and I guess that's what the market's waiting for. Perhaps we'll see some movement in the US session. But yeah, boring as all get out right now.
Mm-hmm. And there's
I've
absolutely nothing going on the unemployment claims we have out of the U.S. and the PPIs, but there's absolutely nothing else going on news-wise, right?
Apart from the press conference, mate, no, absolutely nothing. And I don't expect that anything's going to change in the next 15 minutes. But I think we will see some fireworks when the US session begins, because
Yeah.
we've had such a coiling of the spring, if you like. It's got to unwind at some stage. And I had 18 setups this morning. My goodness.
18.
Wow, that
yeah.
is a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing, not one of them has triggered yet, which is quite amazing. But yeah, US session to go. I haven't traded them all. I've got to add 100%. But I'll be going through all of that in the US session and showing you why I did what I did and why I haven't done what I haven't done. And hopefully the ones that I chose are the ones that'll be greeting the judges when time is called on the trades. We'll see. How are you guys going? Anything exciting in the market or no?
Well,
Orlando's in a couple
nothing.
of things.
I am in the S&P 500 and in gold, and just waiting for scaling on the S&P 500. But and I'm pretty confident that we're going to see some bullishness when the U.S. opens, just because of how yesterday closed and how boring it has been during the London session and the APAC session. Looks very flaggy. All markets looking very flaggy throughout all those sessions, and just waiting for more bullish confirmation to jump in.
Yeah, I guess the only thing we could say, there is a mover in the market, and as usual, it is the pound, and the pound's just
The pound.
The pound is crashing, and I completely missed that retest of the pound. But I wouldn't taken it actually. But yeah, the pound is crashing, and it's going to keep crashing, right?
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything to stop it, and that would include Boris Johnson and cohorts and anybody who's involved in Brexit. They don't seem to be interested in putting any support
plug
mechanism
into
under the
that
pound.
league.
The what,
Yeah,
sorry?
definitely. They're not interested in plugging that league.
No, mate, they're not. There doesn't seem to be any will at all to get this sorted. So, yeah,
Yep.
I'm afraid it just continues to go south, and so does one of my long-term trades that I've had in the market for 2.5 months, which is pound Kiwi, and that is now under threat of being taken out. Of course, we have taken profit a few times, or a couple of times on that, so it's not a loser. But gee whiz, we were 700 or 800 pips up on that only a week or so ago. Seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, that's one of those things, Jeff. And as you say, we are in a bit of a mess over here with the pound, with the Brexit, with the COVID situation. Everything is not really going according to anyone's plan, really, I don't think.
No, it doesn't look good at all, Chloe, I've got to say. I think I'll be just leaving the pound alone for a little bit until it settles down. It's just on a tear at the moment. Hard to see where it goes, frankly.
Sensible.
I guess the good part about that is, if there's a good part about it, is the breakout trades that we've been trading in the London session have been going quite okay because of the pound tanking.
Yeah.
And once again today we're in the short, so all good in that regard. My personal account, I haven't been trading it, but yeah, so far so good.
Good stuff.
That's awesome.
All right, Jeff. So you've got the US. You've got the US session show coming up in about 11 minutes time with Ash.
You bet. Ash had a nice trade on the NASDAQ last night in the US session. I didn't fire a shot, but I've got plenty of shots to fire tonight. So we'll be sharing those. I'm not sure how many I'm going to let fire, but yeah, there's quite a few. And I've already got, 4 or 5 in the market that haven't triggered. So could be an interesting session.
Good stuff. Well, we shall look forward to that then.
Yep. And thank you for having me. I will look towards the 10-minute mark. Yep. And of course, that coincides exactly with the ECB press conference. So there could be a little bit of fireworks in our
and it could be a little bit of fun watching it live, actually.
Yeah, good, mate. We'll be doing that. As I say, I'll better go and shine the shoes and get ready for that show coming up, and we'll catch up with you guys next week. Have a great weekend, eh?
Indeed. You too. And
all right, you too.
Next week. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. As Orlando mentioned, hit the subscribe button if you want to carry on listening to us. We'll be back next week, and Jeff will be back in 10 minutes time on this channel for the preview to the US Open. So